Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I am here to talk about Jesus Santos Aguilar taking on Mateus Mendonca. My prediction for this fight is Mateus Mendonca. I've got him winning by decision, even though Santos has never lost a decision. He's been defeated twice, Santos, both by submission. But I still think Mateus Mendonca overall will find most of his success on the feet, even though he's a good grappler as well. But I expect him to be looking to stay away from the grappling and specifically the guillotine of Jesus Santos Aguilar here, which between the two of them, that's the best weapon in this matchup, the guillotine for Jesus Santos Aguilar. And I'll get to that in a second. He's gotten some big wins. But Mateus Mendonca, if I was to give you a prediction, it would be him winning by decision. I think he's got an athletic advantage here that will be distinct, and also size and reach. He's got 2 inches of height and almost 10 inches of reach on Jesus Santos Aguilar. And I think, for the most part, if he is able to keep this largely a stand up fight, he will be winning the fight. He'll be the more dangerous guy, despite Santos having knocked out Shannon Ross, and he'll also be winning on points. I think Santos will find himself a step behind, certainly, in a stand up fight over the course of 15 minutes. As far as the grappling goes, like I said, Mendonca's a good grappler, but Santos Aguilar is certainly the better submission threat with the guillotine choke. And wrestling, I don't know who would win the wrestling, but again, I think there's a distinct athletic advantage to Mateus Mendonca, which gives you the edge in wrestling, or it gives you something. So I look to their losses. Jesus Santos Aguilar has been tapped out twice. Tatsuro Taira got him with a triangle armbar last year, or whatever, and then he lost, I think, by rear naked choke in his MMA debut way back when, which almost all MMA debuts you can dismiss because whatever, it's an experience. But for Santos, that's how he's been taken out so far, twice, and it's been by submission. For Mateus Mendonca, he lost twice in the UFC. Those are his two losses. Javid Basharat beat him by decision. I thought he looked really good in defeat. Or maybe I'm overestimating Basharat there, but I thought he looked good. And his last loss, he didn't look so good. Nate Maness TKO'd him. He got caught hanging for legs and making some stupid mistakes. And Nate Maness, who I think certainly, well, before that, he might have been underrated. Maybe now not so much. But he sat down on those legs and he pounded the shit out of Mateus Mendonca and got him out of there in round one. That wasn't the best loss, but it is a loss where you would think that's never going to happen again. I mean, if I went through that, I would do everything to avoid making sure that happens again. So I don't think he's going to be hanging on legs and committing to shit against guys that can make him pay. Here, I got him again watching out for that guillotine choke. I'm sure his coaches have prepared him. Jesus Santos Aguilar, it's the best weapon in this fight, that guillotine choke. He got Edgar Chairez out of there. He got Jamie Alvarez, former Ultimate Fighter contestant. This guy, Erickson Fajeda. He's gotten some good fighters out of there with the guillotine and deep into the fight, too. In the final minute of a round 5 fight against Chairez and even a round 3 fight. I think that was the Fajeda fight. He's definitely a problem on the ground, and he doesn't need to jump on a guillotine or whatever. You can walk yourself into it if you're not careful. But aside from that, he's not that big of a threat. The knockout that came from Jesus Santos Aguilar came against Shannon Ross, who's not the most durable fighter, although still he knocked him out in 30 seconds. So there's definitely some power there. But that having been his only knockout or TKO loss of any kind as a pro, I'm willing to say it's not an issue here in this fight, especially considering Mendonca's one TKO loss was due to a positional advantage, not his chin failing him or anything. So I envision this fight going longer because I have a hard time seeing Jesus Santos Aguilar getting tapped out by Mendonca, but I do think Mendonca wins this fight. I think he wins this fight. I think he gets the better of him on the feet, and I think his athleticism keeps it on the feet and helps keep him safe. Plus, he's a good scrambler himself and whatever. So Mendonca by decision is the pick, No prop bets available yet, but I threw a little bit on his money line at minus 148 or something. I don't know, like minus 150. I think there's a little bit of value on that. And if he's able to fight his fight, he's going to have 10 inches of reach and an athletic advantage. So Mateus Mendonca is the pick and the bet. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit, and check out my other videos.